Hello. So obviously not the result you wanted, but Alyssa, I'll start with you. Can you just talk us through what you saw on your goal today?
I kind of felt like before the game, I knew that I wanted to get into positions where I could go either way. And I think I remember dribbling down and remember to slow down and kind of pick out the shot that I wanted. And I saw that I could either go far or near post, but I went near post and then it went in.
And just a follow-up to that, you now have 5 goals in the last 5 games. What are you seeing out there that you weren't necessarily seeing at the beginning of the season?
I don't know if I'm seeing anything really different. I think that I'm probably getting myself into better positions and kind of just more confident in myself, taking the ball up and knowing that I can create something, whether it be passing it or scoring.
Hi, I'm Madison McCarthy-Okay with Kid Scoop Media. And what was most challenging about Portland's performance tonight?
I think their formation was a little bit interesting to kind of break down. They played in a back 5 for a lot of the game and then kind of looked to pounce on our possession in the back because we're looking to build out of the back, which I think we were successful in at some points, and at some times we were creating a little bit more problems for ourselves. So it's always interesting every week in the NWSL. Everyone throws something different at us, and we throw different things at other teams, but I would say that their formation was interesting to try to break down.
This is for either or both of you. An interesting game in that I know you come out of it with a lot of frustration. At the same time, you came back from a 2-1 deficit and really was putting on pressure at the end. You also probably should have had a kick that might have given you a win. Can you talk a little bit about the balance between that, the frustration and this was a really good plus here, us doing this over here?
I think overall our messaging to each other this last week and the last couple of weeks has been just that belief in ourselves, and we're very aware of where we are in the table, and I think that it can be really easy to just create like a negative atmosphere and a negative space. But you've seen Alyssa really pop off the last couple of games, scoring a lot of goals. So I don't think it's the confidence and production and the ability. I think it's more so just like creating this momentum, and coming back against any team in this league is really hard, and it's really easy once you go down, especially when you were ahead, to put your head down and kind of fall into that cave. But for us, I think it's just, we know that the rest of the season isn't going to be easy, and so the little moments that come up that are a little bit speed bumps kind of just feel like a part of the job. And I think the more that we're prepared to come back and get ties and continue to get points for the rest of the season, we'll put ourselves in a good position for the rest of the year.
One for each of you. Alyssa, on your goals, they all seem to be, or a lot of them seem to be the very same goal, cutting in from that left side and beating a defender or two and then taking your shot. Is that something you practice regularly and practice going for? And then Madison, just what has it been like to play with Katie Zellum? What do you feel like she's added to the team in the midfield?
I definitely practice that after trainings a lot. Actually, -1, me and Kristen usually go out and practice just like
The Kristen Press School of Finishing.
Yep. Something like that. And I think that's really helped me a lot, just getting those reps in and getting that confidence. It's literally like 1 or 2. And once I score, we're like, okay, we're done. And I feel like in the game, like I know and I'm confident in myself now that just give me one chance and I can finish.
Yeah, and I think with Zell coming in, it's been a nice balance of experience and also just a different way of seeing the game. I really like to play with the ball at my feet and combine, and so she's a really nice complement to that for me, and she's really confident on the ball as well, and so it gives me even more confidence in the middle of the field where it can always be a little chaotic and hectic. But I think that her and I have a good balance working off of each other, whether it's like we communicate a lot, so I'll be like, I'm going this time, you stay. And so kind of that fluidity, I think, will allow us to continue developing and continue growing and having a little bit more of a dynamic and fluid attack.
Hi, Becki. I actually want to take you to the end of the game. What happened there? That looked like you guys maybe should have had a better chance at a winning goal.
I don't know what I can say and what I can't say, but yes, I've seen it 5 times and my mind is blown. So I don't really know. You could take that however you want, but yeah, I have no understanding of it, nor an explanation. Yeah, I don't get it. But what I am is proud of the fight, the heart, the desire that we showed as a team. I think the last 15 minutes exactly sums us up. We created opportunities, we put them under pressure, and I think unlucky not to get rewarded for it. But yeah, frustrated once again.
Hi, Becky.
Hello.
So also, can you just walk us through a bit about what you and the team saw on that second Portland goal?
Oh gosh, killing me again. Yeah, I mean, Alyssa has a head injury, and I think that's something that we've been really cautious of for the last year or so. Is when players get head injuries, the game should stop, and I think that's a frustrating part, that she gets hit in the head, in the face, and holding her head, and the game carries on. Now, we have to be better behind that. There's no excuse to not be better in that space behind, but I think another frustrating moment where we spend so much time in meetings and calls and put a lot of, you know, the referees have put a lot of emphasis on points this year, and head injuries is a point of emphasis, and I think that's where I'm a little confused, and I can't say much more than that. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Madison McCarthy-O'Hay with Kids Scoop Media, and I know that's not the outcome you wanted, but what did you learn from today's performance?
Yeah, I think it's definitely not the outcome. I think, again, I'm proud of the group, and I think at 2-1, could have gone any way, but we ground out a result again. It was scrappy, it was ugly. I think we still have to learn from our own mistakes. I think when I look at both goals, they're so preventable from us, which is frustrating. It's been the story of our season so far, and that's what we have to continue to fix. But I think, you know, we've just shown that we're in this for the scrap and the fight in this last 5 games, and we're going to leave everything that we have as a team and as a group on the field that we have, and continue to just grind out results and pick up points along the way, and try to keep this in our control as much as we can.
Hey Coach, Joseph with Bet on Her. I wanted to see if you have any thoughts on Claire's performance. She was the centerpiece of so many actions in the game. She had quite a few crosses, quite a few attempts, scored a goal. What have you seen in her performance over the last few games?
Yeah, I think obviously a great performance from her, and rewarded with a goal at the end. I think something that they obviously came out in a different formation, and they just tried to sit in a space that stopped our 10s kind of getting on the ball. If you play 5 at the back, you can have players pop off the line and defend those spaces, and we had to, you know, find that solution for Claire to be able to get her on the ball. She's such a good playmaker for us, and her movement needed to be late so it wasn't predictable, and I think she really, again, has the soccer IQ to be able to figure out what it takes to be able to get on the ball and cause problems for the other team. So yeah, glad that she got a goal. I think, again, potentially unlucky not to have 2 coming out of this game, but really good performance from her. I think the mentality that when we went 2-1 down, I think she had this little switch as well, that she said, yeah, we're not coming out of here with no points, and I think you see that from the goal. It's not a typical Claire goal, it's a scrappy goal where everything ends up in the net, and sometimes those are just as important as the ones that she takes hours and hours to practice.
Hey Becky, we see Alyssa 5 goals in the last 5 games. What have you seen out of her since the restart? And how do you get more? There seems to be more in her production-wise, especially in a game like this. She sort of drifted out to the left and got maybe lost a little bit out there. How do you sort of get more out of her when you guys really need it going forward here?
Yeah, I think for Alyssa, it's obviously her growth this year has been huge, and the patience piece has been important. We spoke about it in the middle of the season. Once she scores 1, she's going to continue to score, but she has to become more sophisticated. Last year she was new into the league, and she found herself in a lot of 1v1s. She rarely gets in 1v1s this year. People have to defend her differently. They defend with 2, and she's found a way to score really similar goals in the last 5 games, and I think that's credit to her and her growth and her maturity within the game. And I think sometimes you can become a player that, and I think this with Claire and Alyssa, right? Players will probably have you on their scout as a player to stop getting on the ball, or to stop being creative in the attacking third, and your job as a footballer is to find other ways and what else you can bring, and that's what Alyssa's really started to do. And I think, you know, we look at it as a team. If they're sending 2 there, where is the space for somebody else? So I think the switch between her and Claire allowed Claire a little bit more freedom on that right hand side. I think they heavily kind of shifted to stop us playing out on that left, which is why Claire in probably the first half didn't get on the ball too much. But yeah, no, I think her growth has been huge, and her maturity that she's shown and her patience that she's shown, and she's getting the rewards from it now.
Hi, Coach. Just another question. Did you look at tonight's lineup with an eye towards Friday with the quick turnaround?
Yeah, I think always as a coach, you definitely have to do that, and you have to look at the fact that we play the last game of this weekend and the first game of next weekend, so we've got to bear that in mind. Obviously, going into Friday, we know that every game is important for us now moving forward, and we need points in every game. So it was a consideration. I wouldn't say it was like the be-all or end-all in some factors, but I do think we have to find ways to balance that out when we have such a fast turnaround.
On that, I guess, what could you say about the fans selling out the stadium on a Monday night?
Yeah, I think this is huge for the NWSL. I think when you put midweek games on, it's, especially in LA, I'm sure you all sat in traffic to get here, because I did. It's just such a huge thing for this league and the growth, and I think what this club does is incredible in the terms of like leading the way in fan engagement, and I think that was something that was really special tonight, and I think that second goal came from that desire of not just the players, but the atmosphere and the environment that we create here.